welcome back. This is Cuyahoga Sound Podcast. I'm Evan Stone.
I'm Chuck Schilling.
Today in studio we have Sparrow and the Lost Boys.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, you're welcome, man. It's glad to have you in here. I think I've been messaging you a few months about this.
Yeah, it's been a busy time of year, I'm sure, for everybody. And I'm glad that we're starting to reel things in, get back on track, and just keep making stuff happen around here. So.
All right. Why don't you three introduce yourself and the instrument you play in the band?
Sure. My name's Jay, and I sing and play guitar in the band, write most of the songs, and...
Jay Sparrow, to be clear on where that comes from.
To be professional about it.
And we are still lost. So
These guys.
I love that show.
Yes.
Yep. I'm Sean. I guess, my last name, Sean McMillian. Sounds kind of fake, but whatever. I play bass guitar.
Sounds baller.
Yeah.
don't lie, your name is actually Crust.
Oh, yeah, but just make it easier, just call me Crust. Yeah.
Where'd that nickname come from?
That, I don't know, it started when I was younger, probably I think around when I was in 6th grade middle school. And it's either because this kid thought that I was a really crusty kid. Which
a crusty kid?
I might have been, he just kind of created it and just kind of stuck, and everyone, going to the skate park and be like, "Oh, crust." That's cool. And it still sticks. I got it tatted on my ankle, so.
Crust, all right. Crust.
Christopher Robin. Yeah. I'm Nico. I play drums.
It's a nice shirt.
That's about it. Yeah,
it is.
It's like 50 cents at a thrift store, All
right.
This whole outfit, actually. Shoes, hat, shirt, pants.
Mm-hmm.
Not the underwear, though. Those are fresh.
All right. Tough times.
I just like thrift stores, man. They're nice.
I know.
Yeah.
All right.
We had one of those up before one of our gigs with the Chili Peppers tribute.
Oh, yeah.
We were like, let's go pick out outfits.
That's right, yeah.
We walked down the street to a thrift store.
Yeah,
bought
let's
some
find
shit.
some flannel or 90s looking shirt to play John Frusciante in, yeah. I remember one time I found a bucket hat there, and I think I wore that for the next month of shows.
Have you heard the new album yet?
Just the single.
Just the single?
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. They got their sound back.
Yeah, it was nice. It was refreshing.
Yeah.
I needed to take the time to dive in.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
All right, cool. Well, Sparrow and the Lost Boys, welcome.
Yeah.
Glad to have you on. How did you guys all get together? History of the band.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Nico and I have known each other for a long time.
Since you were in high school, right?
Yeah, about high school, from high school on.
Which high school?
I went to Olmsted Falls, and he went to North Olmsted.
I didn't go to high school. Joke's on you.
Joke's on you. Well, that was
Actually, Nico, joke's on you, it seems.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
No.
I'm fine.
Well,
probably why I play the drums.
For where we congregated from most of
Yeah,
I
was North Olmsted area,
right.
for sure. I was working at Spencer's at the time.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. No, so we played in different bands at the time, and kind of always played shows together and stuff like that, and it took a lot of years off actually of hanging out. Probably a good 4, 5, 6 years of just occasionally I would see you at Wanyama show, in Columbus or something like that, and
Yeah, you were living in Columbus. I was living in Florida. We were both all over the place.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And very fitting for the podcast. Cleveland area, brings us back home, and we linked up and started working on originals. And Nico actually brought Crust into the picture, who has been contributing a lot. So if you want to.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've actually known Crust for 12 years, probably.
I want to say, because I was around 13, going on 25 now. So
Yeah, it's 12 years ago I met you.
Yeah.
I actually met him before he was Crust, which is crazy. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's just dough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was uncooked. It was just fresh dough, dude.
Raw, man. Rolled out.
Raw dough.
Ready to
Not
go.
even rolled yet. It was just a clump, dude. Just a clump.
a clump of crust.
Yeah, and Crust and we just both skated together all the time, and him and his buddies would start bands when they were younger and everything, and me and him would try to jam here and there and everything, but our schedules never worked out, and then me and Jay needed a bassist, and I was like, I got this weirdo that can play the bass, and it's cool.
Yeah.
You know, and fit in immediately. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Everybody needs a weirdo playing the bass, man.
No. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad, just all the progression that I've seen. Frustrated trying, learn songs that have already been created, and then trying to move forward. Like, what can we make new? Even though I wasn't like originally, myself a part of the band when it was first started. Like that's,
Yeah.
So to me, it's kind of a cool thing,
Yeah, I feel like that's always how it is at some point. Like there's always somebody, that always, comes in, comes out, or, has to pick up some slack or whatever. And that's just part of the sound, whatever we stumble upon is because of that. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, you get those fresh ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. You guys released a single beginning of this year, didn't you?
Dancing song.
Dancing song.
Dancing emoji. I had this idea to try and like rip off the dancing emoji, for the whole cover and the aesthetic of it, but ended up just doing something different instead. But it was pretty cool.
I like the cover. It's cool.
It's a nice little one-off thing. We ended up actually playing that song a lot amidst all the old originals and stuff on our last couple gigs, and every time without fail somebody said something about it. We're like, man, that's just the dumbest 2-minute like little thing, and everyone was like, that song's sweet, and we recorded that a couple months ago, and it's been gathering a little bit of traction. Definitely different vibe than the last, we released an 8-song original album first, so to go from that to a single is very different marketing wise, but been cool.
That was like right at the pandemic, huh? That you released that.
The album,
Roulette, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right in the winter of all that. So gave us something to do, over that time, and
It's cool. Are those a collection of songs you've been sitting on for years, or stuff you all wrote together?
a couple years, most of it, and then I would say 1 or 2 of them respond from us jamming and practicing, and working on those other ones. But that whole album was basically spawned from my move back home. There was a couple songs that kind of started it, where it was your typical what do I need to do to get through this? I'm gonna write it down, write about it, and then the sound kind of came after we started
Cool.
jamming them out.
It has the feeling of that idea, especially in those instrumental sections that really build the momentum and bring the song dynamically up and up and up, and then to another climax. I really enjoy that about that album.
Appreciate
those
it.
instrumental
And
sections.
it flows it doesn't sound like a collection of separate songs, or it doesn't sound like a bunch of separate songs. It's definitely got a vibe all the way through it, and just flows. Everything flows right into the next thing.
I know that's something that Jay and I feel like we're kind of trying to push for that album, was almost make it sound like it was a really fluid live set.
Yeah.
Every song just kind of bled into the next song.
Yeah,
It was just telling a story.
I was listening to it on my drive to work this morning, and there was a couple times where I'm like, is this a new song? And I'd be checking down on the
check.
screen. And it's like, 10 seconds in, it is. All right.
That's the Pink Floyd thing that we all grew up with. I feel like is that commitment to the front to back experience. Is important. So.
And then probably you get a little bit of freedom from that in doing the single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suddenly nothing else matters. In a way, and it's just about banging out that banger.
Yeah, a bit more freedom.
Yeah, like he said, it really was such a different feeling from recording the Roulette album to recording a song like Dancing Song. Because the Roulette album, it was we kind of had to have our minds inside of it, because we pretty much recorded that like a live set. I mean, we kind of...
Yeah, it was pretty much 2 practices, 2 weeks back to back, Tuesday evenings, much like this one. That
You guys just came from a rehearsal?
yeah, we were just practicing
Nice.
warming some
Awesome.
stuff up. But yeah, it was honestly 2 weeks of a couple hours worth of cutting some stuff, and then the typical vocals and guitar after the fact, and it made it feel a lot more live.
Yeah.
It feels very much like a set sometimes.
All right. Well, good
I'm
work.
glad you guys dig it. That's really cool.
for sure.
Yeah, that album was a blast to work on, honestly.
Cool.
It was one of my favorite recording processes I've ever gotten to do. Definitely.
you have all those different songs. Some of them were a couple years old. You were saying, was there like thought as you were writing those, like, you know what, this really fucking goes with this next song really well. These two are going to be back to back, or was that something that happened more in the studio afterwards?
Usually, like, the process of getting ready to record for me, and it's the same way with like electronic music and stuff like that I produce, where it's like, you know, months and months, or, you know, a year or two sometimes of just doing stuff and writing and spewing out ideas, and then not pushing it, you know, not forcing anything necessarily, because when the time comes, it all falls into place. You know, it's like, all right, now I have these things, and sometimes there's one that you take away and one that you add, or one that you shift around or whatever, but it pretty much all develops as we get into the process of calling it what it is. You know, suddenly it's like, oh, well, of course that song would go next to that one. Well, why would I have it any other way? But it's all just sort of like letting it all happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it came out fantastic.
Thanks.
Cool.
Thank you.
Cool. You mentioned that's the Pink Floyd side of things, so let's go into some influences and the foundation of your musicality. Let's start with you, Jay.
We'll start here. Pink Floyd, Radiohead, stuff like that. You know, as far as guitar and all that stuff goes. I mean, you know, who didn't listen to a lot of Chili Peppers over the past 20 years? Off of that, I actually realized recently how big of an influence Ataxia is, if you guys are into that. That's kind of a cool Frusciante side thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You should definitely check out Ataxia. For sure. Yeah.
I was listening to one guitar part. This is just a jam or whatever, and I'm like, oh, yeah, we did that like 2 years ago. I'm sorry, John, but you know, it was just influence. So stuff like that, you know, Arctic Monkeys, all those just kind of classic, you know, rock and roll meets, you know, just heavy orchestration and concept albums, psychedelics and stuff. You know, it's all there. So.
It's good shit.
Next.
Next.
Next crust.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit similar. And I was the kind of person that, I mean, when I was younger, it would literally just be like Beatles, Pink Floyd, and then like any, you know, 60s kind of psychedelic in that, you know, that type of sense. And it,
Like Hendrix or like Cream, like part of the 60s psychedelic.
I feel like Paul McCartney was always like.
yeah. I mean, that yeah, honestly,
cup of tea.
he's honestly probably, yeah. It's like my guilty pleasure. Yeah, Paul McCartney. I even got like a Hofner bass and, you know, that type of deal.
Oh, there's no guilt involved.
Yeah.
With
There's a fine cup of tea.
I don't care if he's my dude, you know, Paul McCartney.
Who said that?
Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty much just based around that, and then I was just mostly self-taught, and then the last couple of years is really when I actually started try to actually expand, you know, different bands. Like, you know, right now because I'm on the spot, I'm that kind of person where I can't just blow out a bunch of bands that I know, but.
I'm sure there's a lot.
You know, yeah, there's a lot. But
What did you listen to today?
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 To be completely honest, it was one of those days that I was just listening to 98.5 on the radio.
It's refreshing sometimes.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, Paul.
So you listen.
Seriously.
So you listen to Queen, Aerosmith, Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, then Queen, Aerosmith, Led
You
Zeppelin,
got to throw
Rolling
in 5
Stones.
Bob Segers.
Oh
in there.
yeah.
Five Bob
Come on.
Seger.
Tom Petty. Yeah.
AC/DC.
I did listen to Tom Petty recently. Just, you know, I was thinking about him. You know,
I'm on my mind.
you know, recently.
That's all the good stuff.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm kind of like a mixed bag. You know, if it sounds good, and the only thing that I try not to is pop country stuff. That's, I mean. I respect it if
it's
you're
a little
someone that likes to make it, but you're not gonna find me.
I thought Luke Bryan
Yeah.
was like your favorite.
Yes, my favorite.
I mean, next to Paul McCartney.
Yeah,
It's got to be those two.
Oh man, it's either Luke Bryan or Paul McCartney. Man.
That's awesome.
Figure it out.
Who's the bigger rock star in the whole history of things, man? Like, you gotta look at those two.
Yeah.
Like,
Luke Bryan for sure.
yeah.
There was a Mount Rushmore.
Without Luke Bryan, it wouldn't be even me.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm definitely gonna have the weird story. I grew up on Beastie Boys and Spice Girls, like straight up.
Alright.
That was the first 2 cassettes I ever had was Beastie Boys and Spice Girls.
I wasn't gonna go back that far, but we
Yeah.
can talk about.
Oh, that's like
some
literally what
cassettes and
got me
CDs.
into like wanting to do music for the rest of my
Hey.
life. Was
I thought that I could dance like the Backstreet Boys, but and then I realized there was so much more going on behind it.
Beastie Boys, like, still though, is like probably one of my all-time favorite
Any
groups.
particular album that like?
Oh,
hooked you on 'em?
and I mean, Ill Nasty was the first album I ever got from them.
I got
But
I got Paul's Boutique on vinyl
yeah,
upstairs.
yeah,
man.
that's what I'm saying. To me. Like,
Fantastic.
I'm still waiting for the new Hot Sauce Committee, if that's ever gonna come out. The one that they did right before MCA died.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I grew up with them, and then I went through like a weird phase of listening to like nothing but punk. And throughout my teens, I played bass in a bunch of punk bands, and then I started listening to like weird jazz music. And that's like pretty much all I listen to anymore is like Snarky Puppy and Ghost Note, Wolfpack.
I was gonna say a lot of that fusion stuff.
Yeah, literally can't stop listening to Wolfpack. Like I think if I could take like one band and only listen to that one band for the rest of my life, it'd be like a toss up between Snarky Puppy and Wolfpack. Yeah, for sure.
Wolfpack or Corey Wong has been mentioned in at least half the podcast.
Yeah. Corey Wong's like a freaking legend.
Yeah.
Weirdly, I work for a company where we like clean windows, we do restoration for gutters and stuff like that. And I actually, Jack Stratton, the one dude from Wolfpack, like cleaned his dad's house. It was really fucking weird in Cleveland. Yeah, and he was just like, yeah, like once a year we do these jams in the backyard. So like if you ever want to come over and jam, I'm like, I don't think I could. Like, probably forget how to play the drums or something.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Yeah, it would be kind of crazy. But yeah.
All right.
Random little side note.
Yeah.
Cool. You got a question for them, Chuck?
Should we move on to gear?
We can go straight into gear. Yeah,
Sounds good.
Yeah. We like gear.
All right, let's stick with you, Nico, man. Let's talk about drums.
Okay.
You said you played bass in some punk bands. When did you start playing drums?
I started playing drums when I was 21. It's like 20 and 21. I was playing in this like kind of shitty band with my brother, and it was out in Stowe. And we were living in Columbia Station. We were so sick of the drive, like from Columbia Station to Stowe is way too fucking long.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I swear? Is that
Yeah,
okay?
you're
All
fine.
right, sweet.
Fuck
What's
no.
he fucking like now, right?
I'm pretty sure I've already said fuck.
Get
like,
your
way
shit
too many
together.
times with that. Yeah, so the drummer, we got like a really shitty kick to like leave at our house so we could do like half practices there, you know. And then since there was a kit there, I just decided to like start playing it one day. And after like a week, I was like, oh, I should have been doing this the whole time. And I just pretty much stopped playing bass and started playing drums. Then like 6 months later, started playing with One Yama and shit like that. And then pretty much never looked back to bass.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. That's when I met you. Yeah, One Yama show.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably met you like 2 or 3 years after that. Yeah. Because we've known each other for a pretty long time.
Yeah, about 2012 or 13,
Yeah.
I think. Mhm.
Yeah, something like that.
Cool, man.
So
Well,
what
10
kind of
years.
gear?
Good to see you.
I'm a Tama guy for
Yeah.
sure. I've recently started acquiring. Like I used to just like, oh, I'm only gonna get Tama, you know.
Yeah.
But then
They make good shit. It's just heavy. That's
Yeah,
like I love
yeah.
how it sounds, but it's
Yeah.
a bitch to carry.
yeah, for sure. Well, the 2 Tama kits I have are actually like they're like lighter series kits. So I
Okay.
have it's just like a little bop kit. It's called the Club Jam.
Yeah.
It's still like just a tiny little fucker.
Yeah.
It's real cool for like little simple practices or if you're playing like little pop-up shows or something. And then I have their series called the Hyperdrive.
Okay.
Where it's all like the super shallow toms.
Do you have the
The
floor tom snare?
The
Yes.
floor tom snare, I sure do,
Alright.
man. It's pretty sick, yeah.
We were just talking about that with Mossum. He's
Oh.
Russ is a Tama guy.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Do you have that?" He's like, "No." So
Yeah, it's
you,
sweet.
You
Yeah.
find yourself using that a lot?
No.
No.
I find myself using it when I'm like playing by myself.
Yeah.
But I don't. So I have this old pork pie that I pretty much just like super glued a bunch of heads on top of, and it just sounds like really trashy and deep and everything.
Yeah.
And it kind of has the same sound as the floor tom except better. So if I use the floor tom snare, I just kind of use it as a floor tom because it's real finicky to tune. It like
Okay.
yeah, it's real hard to get like
Does it have beds, like snare beds in the bottom head?
yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just like, it's a really, really deep snare. Just super, super deep snare. So it's like I said, it's like real weird to tune. Like me
Okay.
and you have sat around trying to get
That's
it to
tough,
sound
yeah.
good, and it's finicky,
its
man.
own thing.
Yeah, it's real finicky.
On the flip side, though, that Atomic Kit was what we used on Roulette.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So that sound on that album was that
Oh, that-
overdrive kit.
Yeah, that kit's killer, man.
You got the hyperdrive sizes, the shallower
Oh,
ones.
yeah, yep.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
position them exactly where you
Oh,
want.
yeah. I mean, the customization with that kit is so beautiful because of how shallow the toms are. Like, you can do some real cool shit with it.
And what finish you got?
It's matte black with the wood grain pinstripes.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's not even like painted pinstripes. It's like etched out of the paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super sick.
All right. And symbols?
Sabian.
Sabian?
all
Okay.
day. Yeah, for sure. I actually just recently picked up the whole Dave Weckl Legacy series, which is real cool.
Yeah.
Those are some incredible sounding cymbals. The crash is massive. It's like a 20-inch crash. It's like a 24-inch ride, 15-inch hi-hats.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's real dry, but it doesn't have that. It's not like that like Meinl dry where it's almost like too dry. It's like crisp dry. Oh man, because you can do like rock. They're like jazz cymbals, but you could definitely rock the hell out of them. Actually, the dancing song single I used those Legacy cymbals on,
Okay.
and they don't even sound like jazz cymbals, man. Like like I
Yeah.
said, you can rock on them, man.
Yeah, a
for
lot of
sure.
times you get the jazzy stuff and you just find yourself bashing it in a rock situation
you
to
don't
try
even
and get
need to,
something out
man.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they cut through, man.
That's
They're good.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's why with those 2002s, they
Yeah.
cut through anything. I can just tap it and you'll hear it.
Actually, I think I used that one pasty I have on the Roulette album.
Roulette, yeah.
Yeah, I did. Pasty? Is it pasty? Is it paste?
I think it's Peisty.
Pasty. Oh.
Peisty.
It's very pasty.
Peisty.
I can't eat this food. It's too pasty.
Yeah, from Switzerland.
Yeah.
Peisty.
Sticking with the percussion side of things, Jay, you're also a very talented drummer.
Yeah, we thank you.
You're welcome.
Nico and I have very differing views on a lot of brand stuff,
Yeah,
and
like everything.
it's
We
just
like
pretty-
don't agree on anything. It's awesome.
it's pretty fun because at the end of the day, we can still be like, oh no, the song needs to be like, boom, 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 and then he's like, okay, we got this. So that's more important, ultimately than the metal and stuff. But yeah, the metal, the circles and the sticks, But yeah, I've been playing drums actually the longest out of anything for the most part, and it always translates into songwriting and everything for me, which is important, especially with production of said songs, because you can write a song, it can be acoustic, it can be on a piano, it can be whatever, you could sing a song while playing drums, and it is what it is. But taking those specific, instances where we're like, hey, this rhythmically, which is why I'm glad that you're also so like just learned, and like knowledgeable and the whole like theory side of things and all that stuff, where we're like, no, we know what we're talking about when we say like this part needs to happen this way or whatever, because ultimately if everything is doing the right thing rhythmically and aesthetically, then that's what matters. So I think the fact that we all kind of share a lot of multi-instrument backgrounds helps a lot more nailing that stuff down. So, but yeah, I love drums. I've been playing drums for forever. So,
Cool.
Jazz and all that stuff too. Yeah.
Cool.
I feel like even though you're not a drummer, like we all kind of write like drummers. Like I feel like your mindset when it comes to like how you write and how you think about music is very like percussive.
Yeah, I mean, it's that type of thing. You play a beat, and then I'm just trying to like fill in in between the gaps or with the gaps.
Yeah. That's awesome. Makes it as a drummer like
Without
finding a
you know.
bassist that's not just like so robotic. It's really nice
Yeah.
finding a bassist like him where it's like
Yeah,
we're like just feeding off each
There's
other.
nothing
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome. It really is.
Cool. That stuffed crust.
Yeah. Stuffed crust. It's actually your solo album that's coming out in May, right? Stuffed crust.
Stuffed crust.
That's his adult
I don't
film
know
album.
I might now.
Might find it on one of those PH websites, if you know what I'm talking about.
What's in store for the future for you guys?
I'm not sure. We did a whole lot of stuff last year with some cover gigs and some original shows, as much as we could with everything going on. we've always been studio rats, you know, so it's like trying to focus lately on just more and more original stuff, and, you know, attacking a single at a time and just trying to get that content out there. For now, you know, we're coming off of a lot of off-the-wall type of things that we did last year. The Tower City Battle of the Land thing was fun, and definitely, yeah, very eye-opening experience for how things flow in the city. And
Want to get into that a little bit?
yeah, sure. So we did this competition where we performed at Tower City for a couple rounds of Battle of the Bands type of thing, and the end result was opening for Bone Thugs and Harmony, which we did not do, but we did get to the finals, and we did have a killer time, and we did perform to a lot of people that really enjoyed what we did, and got some good feedback from Charlie from Rover's Morning Glory, and you know, everybody else that was involved in that whole thing, which was it was just fun. You know, it was a fun experience. It was different than playing in bars and stuff like that all the time. So
yeah, I mean, it's not many people that get like just performing in like the middle section of Tower City is like was so weird.
Yeah.
Worst sound ever, but it was so cool, man. It really was like especially as a drummer, like the room is so massive and it's like 80 stories tall. So I'd hit my snare and then I'd hear my snare again like 30 more times, just like bouncing all over the place.
everyone's like, play quieter. You're like,
Yeah, I'm like, I can't do it. Yeah. But it was awesome. Like just getting to play in that room and everything. Like he said, I mean, it was, you know, regardless of if we won or not, I mean, it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Everybody that was there was really cool. The people that threw the show were really cool, you know. And like he said, I mean, Charlie was like super digging us and shit. So it was cool. Yeah, it was definitely
you
an
get to
eye-opening experience for sure.
Get to play in a spot where, like, when you picture Cleveland, like,
Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you can point on the skyline where you played at.
Yeah.
And you can also point at all the places my snare drum made. Yeah,
Cool.
that was cool. That was very cool.
All right. You said shed some light on how things work in a competition like that. Yeah. Can you elaborate on that?
yeah. So it was typical Battle of the Band type of thing, which I've done before with other bands in the past. You know, a lot of the times you have like audience voting mixed with like judges and stuff. In this case, there weren't judges; it was all audience voting. So, you know, the first round we were able to get through pretty clear. You know, a lot of people texted in their votes and stuff like that. The second round, you know, it was a lot more like in-person driven. There was definitely a lot of people there. It was pretty cool, but you know, they did a good job of kind of reeling it in. Like, hey, make sure that if you're here for this, then this is what you're here for, which is cool because then the people that are there attribute to that crowd engagement a little bit, and it's like, okay, I'm actually having a good time now. You know, I'm not just performing to a bunch of people who are here for dinner or whatever, or just drinks, and you know, and they want to have a conversation. They don't want to listen to you sing or whatever. So I enjoyed that part of it because it was everybody that was there to see cool stuff like that. Yeah. You know, which is sometimes getting harder and harder to find in events. You know, it's like sometimes if you see a band or you see music happening live, whatever, it's almost secondary anymore. Like, we got this thing going on, and we're gonna have this guy in the corner playing some songs.
Yeah, and like dive in what you were saying. I mean, it was one of those things where even the people like that were there in the audience that were pretty much voting against us were still like it wasn't like anybody was booing people. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like when we were playing, everyone that was there was like getting into it and dancing and everything. Even if like 80% of those people did not vote for us and were voting for the other band that won or whatever, but it was like everyone that was there was just having such a good time. It was really cool. Yeah.
Cool. How were the other bands?
They're good. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good mix of, you know, some hip hop and some rock and some young people and some old people. And
I'd expect a competition to open up for Bone Thugs be mostly hip hop.
the first round was, and then towards the end it just kind of filtered out.
Yeah, it was the last round was
Half and half.
2 rappers and 2 bands.
Yeah.
Oh, there's only 4 of you guys?
Yeah, the last round was 4
cool.
people. I don't remember. I think it started off as it was a lot.
32, I think, if I remember right.
I'm talking about like the initial.
The initial thing was like 70 something bands, and then it got narrowed down to whatever.
Like 32.
32. Yeah, 32. And
I remember hearing about it on the radio.
Yeah.
And then it was like week by week, like each week was 4 acts or something like that. Yeah.
Cool.
And you just voted to see who you wanted to win out of that. That was cool.
All right.
Different. It wasn't what I was really expecting to be doing, at this age or at this time, at this time of the world. Just doing another battle of the bands. But
Hey, what's life if you're doing what you expect to do?
yeah,
Got to keep it interesting.
definitely. Yeah, it was fun.
Cool. All right. What else is going on with you guys besides music?
Well, moving on to gear, I wanted
Yeah.
to talk about. I wanted
Oh,
to
yeah.
talk about gear a little
I
bit.
thought we were
did
going to
not
get away
mean-
with just drums.
I did not mean to skip the
Drums
guy.
only.
Drums and
Drums
drums.
only.
Come on, guys.
Drum day.
You just want me to go down?
Yeah,
Go down
yeah.
my gear rundown, or
Yeah, sure. Talk about your gear, bud.
what I just like out of play.
One of them.
But what I currently use, what do I have? An Ampeg SVT. I guess it'd be an SVT HLF Classic 4x10. With an SVT 7 Pro head. I think when I first started with you guys, I used I had a Squier. It was a Squier fretless jazz bass.
Yeah, it's like the Jocko.
Yeah. And I ended up like modding it, and then now it's giving me a bunch of feedbacks, and I gotta work on that. I ended up going on Reverb because I was originally looking to get a Mustang bass, and then I ended up coming across this weird Chinese. It's a Vox VBW 2500 bass, which it's a reissue, and it's like a rare sick like teardrop style bass. I don't know if I already said that, but and I mean it's cool, but and sometimes I wish I would have gotten like the Mustang because it would have been more versatile. But
What's it called?
I have
I'm
another.
gonna pull up a picture so they can see it because that's like I feel like half of why it's so cool.
So the Mustang, is that the short scale?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because that was the idea. Because after my accident, I wanted to get something with a smaller neck. And
Okay.
and it has a 7 1/4 radius instead of like the 9 1/2
Yeah.
or whatever that I'm used to. And I mean it's a comfortable bass. And it's like a semi-hollow body, so it's kind of
A little lighter.
That's what I was kind of
definitely
getting to.
lighter.
Is that
But
that's
recording
actually,
with it, that's what I'm kind of worried about at times. Like I'd rather have like a solid body, But I mean it
it
still
turned out
sounds
great.
good.
It was
Yeah,
what we
it's
used
just
on,
one of those things, But it ended up sounding good.
on the single, right? We used it
Yeah,
on the single.
because we used it on the single.
Super
Oh,
crazy,
like it.
the
crazy
Vox
looking bass.
teardrops.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen the
Sweet.
guitars like that. I haven't seen the
They're
bass.
sweet, dude.
Yeah.
Cool. Let me blow this up. All right.
Yeah, tonally, it's really great.
You
I
bringing
mean,
it up to the camera?
Yeah, see if
Do I gotta get up? Yeah.
It's important.
Here comes Evan.
Dropping stuff into the videos.
This is high tech. That was not CGI.
so.
Yeah, I think that it for our live shows and for like recording purposes too. That's always kind of given an interesting twist. Like you said, somebody always says something about the bass when we play out live. What is that? That sounds sick, and it sounds great too. It allows for. It's actually the second time I've played in a band with somebody that has a semi-hollow bass, so it's kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah, they're slept on, man, for sure. They're really, really cool.
Yeah.
I do love the fretless though.
Yeah, I know. I miss it.
Yeah.
It's just too annoying, dude. Like right now. But it sounds so good otherwise. Yeah.
He's got a Rickenbacker too. That's really, really cool. Yeah.
I'd love to play one of those. I haven't yet.
Yeah.
It's on my list.
It is on it. It's like
got
kind of
a cool
surreal. Like holding one and playing it, you're like, whoa, this really does feel like powerful.
They're like mythical because
Yeah.
they don't even put
It
the
is,
price
yeah.
on like go to like Sweetwater to like call.
Yeah. So,
They're the only ones still doing that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep moving on down the line. Do you have anything else you want to add about your gear?
Any pedals or anything?
because actually no, I don't really think I haven't used any pedals yet.
Not yet.
And I've always been telling them, I'm like, I want to get a pedal. I do sometimes use the pedals. Like I'll use like the distortion or, maybe a delay sometimes, but nothing we've recorded or anything.
Yeah.
But
Pedals and bass are hard. It's hard to
Yeah.
find a good combo and a good purpose for an effect with basses, unless you're just talking about like compressors and EQ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I've only fucked with fuzz and chorus for bass.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're playing in like electronic or jam band or something, then you'll see that kind of shit all the time. But when you're doing
especially
like straight
the
up
envelope filter.
Yeah. Those are fun.
Yeah, I mean, when you got like a 3-piece rock band, though, I mean, like Jay said, it's kind of hard to find like useful times for crazy effects on a bass.
Yeah.
But
Pedals are something I use, definitely. I make use of a lot of delay, analog delay, mod delay, stuff like that for sure. Just to kind of give that psychedelic blanket of everything. Utilizing like looper pedals and things as samplers, like reverse effects and stuff like that, through like Boss pedals and things. Definitely a big part of the sound. That's kind of like what you hear on Roulette, because it is just the three of us. It's a rhythm track cut and then like some guitar overdubs and things, and it makes it feel like there's like a 4-piece band sort of, or like another instrument happening. But at the end of the day, it is just that initial cut of reversed loop of whatever was happening just a second ago, and that's where like all those transitions kind of come into, which is fun to do live especially. But basic just like chorus delay, obviously overdrive, and been rocking mostly Fender stuff lately. Just get that nice natural amp verb, and
What Fender amp?
I've got a small Princeton combo.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So it's just got the nice drive setting that you don't have to push too much to get it
15
dirty.
watts, and you can get it to break up nice and early.
Yeah, not have to haul around some giant thing or whatever, and it does the job, that's for sure. So
It's kind of been a theme, right? Everybody's going like 15-watt amps, and they're like, we can just get that break up, throw a mic on it, we're good. I don't have to break
if
my
you're gonna,
back.
and pretty much anywhere you go, you're gonna get mic'd up anyways, and they're probably gonna tell you to turn the amp around and get out of here, with it.
Yep.
So it's like you might as well have. I remember one time in Columbus, I played a show at Ace of Cups, and dude literally had like one of those little like desktop guitar amps or whatever, and it was in the corner. It was like a 5-piece band too, and that's a big room, and they literally just had a 57 on it in the corner, and he was shredding just over top of everybody, over top of the other guitar and the keyboards and whatever. So it is, if there's a sound system, you might as well just roll with that, and it translates to recording too, because most of the time, unless you have a big room to utilize all that power that you're going to put behind a guitar signal, it's more about getting that tone focused.
Yeah. Should we go to our advertising? Our sponsors?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? All right.
You gonna ask me? Yeah, we gotta talk. We gotta talk about our sponsors here.
Of course.
All right.
Well, how can we get through a podcast without talking about Chuck Kaminsky and Basement Trader?
Oh, we can't.
We can't.
Chuck Kaminsky.
There's no way we could possibly do it.
Mm-hmm. The mayor of Painesville. He's not the mayor of
Mayor
Painesville.
of Painesville. I'm telling him that. I'm calling him that from now on. The mayor of Painesville.
All right, Basement Trader. BASSMENT. Trader.com.
Cool.
All right, he's a .com. He's a .com.
Yeah. He's got a reverb shop. Search Basement Trader. He's got all kinds of cool gear, setups. He can order some new stuff, but it's mostly used stuff.
If you're a good friend of his, he can set you up with some amazing podcast mics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The OG of sponsoring the Cuyahoga Sound podcast from Lake County.
Since day one, before our first airing.
Yeah.
Cool.
And all around great dude.
Got me a deal on a great PV bass that I was playing with Apostle Jones.
He even sacrificed his son to come play with us in the Chili Peppers tribute.
Oh, man. He wasn't even 21 yet, was he?
No. Dude's a killer. Thank you, Jacob.
What did he play in the group?
Bass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he came in, he sewed stuffed animals like Beanie Babies on his pants, nailed
Old school
everything.
flea.
Yeah, like
Nailed it all. Yeah.
nailed it. Yeah, and like no notice, we made junk money for 2 shows.
Yeah.
And
$80 a piece or
something
something.
like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Chuck Kaminsky. Thank
Chuck
you.
Kaminsky.
All right, number 2.
Listen CLE.
Listen CLE.
Yeah. So Listen CLE is all Cleveland artists. They've got, was it listencle.com?
.com.
Where they've got their 9, is it still 9?
It's 9.
9 Spotify playlists that are mood-based rather than genre-based. So you don't have to be like, I'm in a rock mood. You're like, I'm in a chill mood.
Yeah.
And we're going to listen to some chill music right now.
Can we name them? Do you remember them all?
I cannot.
No, all right.
No.
Love songs, chill, groove, get your day going kind of music, right?
Did you say Dago?
No, day going. No.
Oh, this one's
Day
getting pulled.
going.
It's a pizza pie.
That was our Joe Rogan moment. We're getting pulled.
Oh, great.
Chuck Kaminsky's pulling his sponsorship. We're in trouble.
Hey, I didn't even say anything, man. It's your ears.
It's my ears.
All right.
Hey, I love Italy. I go there as much as I can.
Cool. Let's talk about Voodoo Vodka.
Yes.
Voodoo Vodka made from BKO Distillery in Medina, Ohio. Well, we got a grand opening event or something on the 19th of February.
Yeah, we will be past that when this airs. So
Possibly.
hopefully you were there.
All right.
Yeah, we will be. This will be the 21st, I believe.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Finally,
so,
let's talk about Unrefined.
Oh, yeah.
Unrefined is...
I bet you guys didn't think you were coming here for a commercial show.
yeah.
Hey man, that's a real podcast right there, dude.
Yep.
We're authentic.
Unrefined is a new 100% gluten and dairy-free meal prep service in Cleveland. They use local vendors for products, and the food is always served fresh, never frozen. Meals are delivered right to your door within 35 miles of downtown, and pickup is also available. They are Unrefined CLE on Instagram or unrefinedls.com to place an order and get a coupon. All right, and I think that
It's a pretty good delivery.
Yeah, it was. I was
Put in the promo code Evan Stone.
Evan Stone.
Chuck's going to be pissed when he hears how smooth that came out compared to his.
Yeah, we've given Chuck however many, and all right, yeah, okay.
Yeah. We won't give him plenty more.
Yeah, we will.
We will. So.
And we won't mention that my sister is one of the owners of Unrefined. Yeah.
We won't mention that at all. All right, where were we? The music.
We were talking to Sparrow and the Lost Boys.
All right, can I pull the curtain back real quick and ask about that badass racing setup you have over there?
Yes. So actually, Russ from Mossam was very interested in that, but he's like 6'3" or something. He couldn't fit.
Yeah, that is fucking awesome.
I play Formula One games. Maybe I'll rotate the camera a little bit here.
Yeah, that is so sick. I looked over and I was like, oh, he's got a Peloton over there. I was like, oh no, that's like
so
a
we're like-
there's a virtual racing setup,
This
dude.
is a little peek behind the studio here, but there's a racing setup over there.
Yeah.
And that's what I do when I'm like frustrated as hell. I go over there and I play some Formula One racing games
And I win.
because it's really fast. You got to shift it's an average of 100 shifts per lap.
Yeah.
So you can't think about anything that you're pissed about because you'll wreck your car.
What do you have it running through? Is it through a PC? Is it
It's a
through console?
PS4.
Okay, PS4.
Yeah,
nice.
PS4 paddle shifts. It vibrates and everything, so the whole thing shakes when you're going. I can't wait for the VR version to come out.
That's so sick.
It's a lot of fun. This is the toy room for sure.
Yeah.
Drums.
Yeah.
I'll have to bring my
Absolutely.
Oculus over here sometime. Dude.
I got one. I
Yeah,
got two of them
nice,
upstairs.
nice,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I just got this whole new headset that attaches to it, and it takes vape batteries. So essentially, you can play your Oculus for 12 hours without it dying.
Wow.
And it's all cushioned, and you're straight up submerged inside this thing. It's pretty awesome.
So, all right. So how are you guys feeling about this metaverse thing coming out?
Look, man, I'm not trying to get canceled or anything, but I'm all about it. Man, just let me live inside of a digital world playing video games. I'm cool with it.
Finally.
I'm cool with it, man. Wall-E, here we come.
I think
Do you used to test video games for a living?
Yeah, there was a point in time that I did shit like that, for sure. It was pretty cool.
so. Grandma's Boy
Sounds
was
cool.
based on you.
Not that far.
Not that far.
Yeah.
All right.
It was great grandma for him.
Great Grandma's Boy.
But I will say that if anybody ever put in front of me man, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity party, it's gonna be the greatest night of your life, or you could stay at your house and play your PS5. I'd be like, I'm fucking playing PS5, dude. Like, I ain't going to this party. Yeah, no, I could easily ignore the world and play video games.
I'm just sketched out by Mark Zuckerberg being in charge of the metaverse.
100%.
Because, like, he's part of the reason everybody wants to escape the real world.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to his
Yeah.
fake world.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
And-
fuck him and all that shit. I'm just about, like, living inside of a video game. Like, that's... The actions behind it suck, but, I mean, if I could, you know...
Yeah.
If, like, Ready Player One could ever become a real thing, like, sign me up, dude.
I just went to a conference and they had a speaker from Meta there, and she came out and there was like 500 people in the crowd, and she's like, "All right, I'm from Meta. How's everybody feeling about the metaverse? Give us a thumbs up, a sideways, or a down." And everybody's like, "Not with you." You know, like the rest of it, cool. Let's try it, but like, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
You messed up.
Yeah, for
You're
sure.
not in charge anymore. And then like 4 p.m. that day is when their stock price like crashed when their earnings report came out, and so I'm excited for the metaverse, but not a Zuckerberg run metaverse.
Yeah, I didn't, like, when I bought my Oculus, I didn't even have a Facebook, so I had to make a fake Facebook account, like, just to play the Oculus. I think it's, like, Chet Phillips or something like that. I'm like, I'm not making an actual Facebook, I'm just going to make a fake one.
Everybody thinks
Just so I
you're a
can play
Russian
Oculus.
troll now.
Yeah.
With the only 2 Oculus people.
Yeah.
We just like cut everybody else out of the conversation.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm way out of that, man. I don't know what.
Yeah, no, you're not much of a gamer, right?
No.
Yeah.
No, I think last system I bought was a PS2, and that was actually I didn't buy it. I wanted it after prom.
I mean, that only came out 22 years ago, so it's okay, dude.
It was great though.
It
The
was a
PS2
really cool
was
system,
great.
yeah.
I still have
mean,
it.
The
I still have it.
originally the big one, not the thin one.
No, yeah, not the thin
Yeah.
one. No.
That was
Yeah, I
the
still have it.
longest running system, man, to
Yeah.
put video games out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's
Well,
a
all right.
glorious time to be alive.
Cool. I played a lot of N64.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
man. That was like, that changed my life when I was about 11, 12 years old. You know, I had played a lot of NES and Sega growing up, but not at my house. I had ColecoVision at my house. I had to but at my friend's house, like NES over here, that friend's got
Are you
Sega.
saying currently you have a ColecoVision at your house?
I'm talking about growing up.
Okay.
No, I don't live.
1985
I do not
Evan's
live in a
house.
museum.
I'm like, where did you have a TV that still hooks up to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember at first Sega Dreamcast changed things a lot, but N64.
Playing C-Man.
Yeah. And well, anyway,
Have you
what
checked-
other hobbies do we got besides video games over here, guys? Outside of music, let's learn about the people.
Besides music.
My buddy Jay here, you just had a child recently, didn't you?
Yeah, that's
congratulations.
one of my hobbies is childcare. Yeah, no, Noah was born in December, and we're really grateful for him to be experiencing all this with us, and I'm sure that he's going to make his way into this music and art world eventually too, because he's a very, very free soul for sure. So, been busy with that. I don't really do much besides music. I like to watch movies and
No, you were.
listen to music.
I know you were doing a studio in your house. You still doing that?
No, I'm actually working for Breakthrough Sounds Recording Studios now,
All right. Where's that out of?
which is right around the corner in Valley View. We are a pretty much all-purpose like recording studio media company type vibe. We have multiple rooms, a new Studio C space where we can do videography and photography and stuff like that. So,
Nice. You an engineer?
engineering there, managing there, doing a lot of projects. Pretty much whatever we can get our hands on, and whatever people need help with.
Cool.
So,
Sounds fun.
yeah.
What about the fact that you're like directing a whole movie series right now?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the movies thing.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
We're in the middle
Oh,
of.
yeah, by the way,
Yeah. No, we're in the middle of a short film series with a couple friends of mine, Sean Hensey, who helped us master Roulette, and do the music video for Wind Up as well. He and a friend, Doug Turner of mine, are working on a series of short films. The first one's called The Landlord. If you Google or YouTube The Landlord Studio Mind, you can find that pretty easily.
Awesome.
The one we're working on right now is called Gravedigger, and we're about to release that in a couple weeks here. Yeah, just kind of short thriller type stuff, very musically driven. I do all the soundtracking and scoring and sound for all those too. So the whole premise of a lot of them is music as kind of a plot driver. So
Cool. Do any acting in it?
yes, also a little bit of acting, a little bit.
Awesome.
Which has been fun, definitely never saw myself doing that until something is placed in front of you where it's like, oh yeah, you just have to just act normal. You don't have to act, you just have to be normal, and that's kind of your character. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, play yourself.
Can do that. Can definitely do that.
Cool.
So.
Hey, Crust, how you
Yeah,
doing, man?
Oh, I'm good. Yeah, I've just been zoning in and out.
That's just that, yeah.
Typical bass player.
Seriously. You guys want to talk about skateboarding or window?
Yeah, I mean,
It's the foundation of our friendship, Crust.
Yeah, the foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah, the foundation of me and Nico's friendship would be at the skate park, North Olmsted.
NASP, man.
Oh,
Represent.
dude, the NASP. Oh,
Many
but-
days.
so yeah, so that's pretty much what I have to look forward to. In like the spring, summertime, it's pretty much one of my only forms of exercise, which is kind of sad. But yeah, skateboarding and I don't know, but I'm not really much of a. I'm just starting to get into gaming. Like I literally just started playing Skyrim probably a couple of weeks ago. And, like I bought the game like a while ago, started it, and I'm like, oh, it's like a medieval Fallout, whatever. Like, so.
Back to skateboarding.
That's just the way I'm back to skateboarding. Yeah, I mean either skateboarding or I'm really trying to get back and just like walking like random trails and hiking. I'm more of like like being out in nature and that type of stuff.
Nice, yeah. I'm with you there.
It's good to do,
But
nice reset.
yeah,
Cool. What's your deck like? You
My deck?
Skateboard, yeah.
yeah my deck. Oh,
What
it's
size wood you got there, bud?
I write 8.5, bro. yeah, really 8.5. But what do I, bro?
You do a lot of changing out, like trucks, stuff like that.
Yeah, because I got a Baker right now. I used to ride Indy trucks all the time, but I've been trying Ace. And then I don't even know what kind of wheels. I think I tried to buy stuff that I've never bought before.
Aren't you using bones right now?
Or Bones wheel. Oh no, that was my last board. There was like acid wheels or something, and shake jump bearings, which they're alright.
I haven't done it since
yeah, I just gotta
12,
go back to
13
red.
years old.
Yeah.
The game's probably changed so much since Alien Workshop, huh?
Yeah.
Are they
Workshop's
still
up there? Yeah.
still there?
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
it's still rocking.
Ordering all your
I never-
parts in the back of
Yeah, I
Thrasher.
never rocked the Alien Workshop too much. But it doesn't help now that like every time I pretty much skateboard, like I end up like tweaking my ankle or something at this point. And I'm like, yes, I love it.
That's why I quit. That's why I
love
quit,
it.
man.
Getting
Like
old is so much fun.
Like-
sprained wrists like 3 times in 1 year. I'm like, and that set me back so much in like learning guitar, and yeah, when the music became more important, the skateboarding died.
That's
Yeah, and that's and just finding a balance nowadays, like, like. I mean, it's basic. It's basic.
No, it is. Yeah,
Balance
finding a balance.
Well, you think it's basic until you got to do it. But work life, what we're trying to do with the music, because we don't want to work for the rest of our lives, and pretty much the dream that everyone wants. Whatever you're doing, whatever niche you're in.
yeah.
What do you do for a living right now?
I work for the same window cleaning company. Yes, and he actually got me a
get to work
job.
together.
I was,
Yeah.
Nice.
You got to say the name of the
So-
company really close into the microphone.
Yeah,
that way
Central. I'm
everyone
wearing a
can-
hat. right now.
Window Cleaning. Centralwindowcleaning.com. Yeah. Let's get your business card right up here next to Chuck Kaminsky.
I actually have one. I can go grab it. I got one with my name on it.
Cool.
Yeah, and kind of like how me and Jay like drum very differently and everything. Like same thing with like skateboarding. I'm one of those weirdos. I have like a 10-5 skateboard, so it's just massive. Ace trucks. I used to just like Crust used to ride Indies, but I ride Aces now, and I just like whip it around in a bowl, man. It's so much fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've just been watching videos of people going down the Alps.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's like liberating, man. Like I don't care how old I get. It's like the second that sun, like spring to end of fall, man. Any free time I have, I'll go to the skate park.
Yeah.
I don't even care. It's so much fun.
You got a wife and kid too, right?
No. I have wife. Yeah.
Oh, all
Yeah.
right. Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Yeah.
This is just turning into the Maury Povich show. We're going to bring out this kid from the back.
Know what that door's for?
Cut that.
But yeah, just dealing with that and working and, you know, as I said, like video games and skateboarding. But I mean, a lot like Jay, it's like I pretty much work and play music, you know.
Like you said, you know, once that becomes the main focus, you know, the priority, it's hard to shake it. It's hard to balance anything else a lot of the time. So I give people credit for doing a lot of different things. But yeah, music. I've taken a habit of all my posts and things. I'll put that like the music note emoji and then the infinity emoji. I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's pretty much the point. Like I really didn't need to say any of that, but that's the point right there. You know.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's hear about plans for the future for the bands. You got any shows coming up or any music written that's going to be recorded soon?
We have a couple more singles that we're working on. We're trying to decide which one to put out next. We don't have a whole lot of shows coming up. Doing mostly, you know, like solo shows here and there. Definitely scattered over the last couple months with the baby and everything. Yeah, just trying to get back in the swing of things.
Cool.
Yeah.
How about new Cleveland bands you've started liking or want to give a shout out to?
Yeah.
Singers, guitarists.
We played a show. The last show we played, I think, recently was with Danny Shipley.
Oh,
Who-
episode 1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 Yep. And that was.
The camera didn't work for that one, so you can't see it on YouTube, but check it
No.
out on Spotify.
You can listen.
Growing pains. Thank you, Danny.
You can listen to Danny talk about his cool music and everything too.
Yeah.
He's been doing some cool stuff. That was a good show. We played with them.
Did he have the saxophone in on that one? Was it
Yes.
4-piece?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
we saw them playing with Among the Willows about a month ago.
Oh, yeah, 5 o'clock lounge.
That's
Yeah.
where he played with them.
That's
Yeah.
where we're at.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Good spot.
the sax really adds
Oh, yeah.
a little bit to it. It's really good.
Excuse me.
That's definitely something, you know, that is always really refreshing, you know, when you see other bands doing, you know, it's like, oh, we're doing something similar, but then, you know, we're going to have this synthesizer, or we're going to have this saxophone, or we're going to have this, you know, other vocalist or whatever, you know, which we kind of have been doing the opposite lately, where we're kind of reeling everything in and seeing what we can do with just the kind of classic rock and roll drums, bass, and guitar setup. But, yeah, always drawing inspiration from other bands and friends and everything, you know, anybody that I record for or produce with or whatever, you know, it's like that's always going to be kind of up on the list. I think, you know, I've chilled and recorded with Grav before, and Strobe Light Casualties and all those guys, you know, a lot of the similar, you know, Listen CLE type artists, Apostle Jones, all those guys. Real cool circle we got going on here. So
Yeah, Cleveland's the best.
Yeah, there's an up and coming artist that I've been playing drums for that's got some cool shit in the works for sure. So I'm excited for Cleveland to kind of get introduced to his style and sound. Yeah,
Cool.
it's good stuff.
To remain nameless?
Huh? Oh, it's Vince Neroni.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought he was being all secret.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
it's so big that you can't even.
Mysterious.
No, you were mentioning too before. You were mentioning Dave. You had Dave on here recently. He's a mutual friend of all of ours.
Yeah.
And oldest friend.
Which we've
Dave
had
Z-
3 Daves
Dave
on
Ziggy.
in the
Dave
last
Ziggy.
like month. Yeah,
Dave
Dreadlock
Ziggy.
Dave and Chewy Center Dave.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
It's a lot of Daves.
True.
It was like Dave.
Dave Lactate? Is that what you just said?
No. No, man, clean out your ears.
Definitely heard Dave Lactate. I was like, that's the coolest last name I've
This
ever
room
heard.
sounds so good. We're just kind of making up whatever.
Lactation Dave. No, it's Dave from Chewy Center.
Yeah.
Dreadlock Dave.
That's right.
Oh, like the Dreadlock Dave?
Yeah.
Like water band, Stone and Beautiful Dreadlock
Yeah.
Dave? Yeah.
Super cool, dude.
Yeah.
The episode just came out. It's a
Okay.
really good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my first time meeting the guy. Like,
He's a cool dude.
just the vibe he puts out. You just like feel like this dude's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just staring at me.
I just glanced at you.
He's just gazing into your eyes.
Dude,
He's like
it's
my
that.
co-host. He's so beautiful.
What's these
It's-
locks
it's
I got
most-
coming in?
It's mostly that salt in the beard, man. I just can't take my eyes
Oh,
off of
it's-
Chuck
yeah.
Schilling.
I can't wait till it turns all white and I could look like a wizard.
100%.
Yeah. I think it's that earring most of all.
The earrings,
that
yeah.
just draws me in.
Part pirate, I guess.
Some kind of pirate.
Some kind of pirate. Whatever, I'm after your booty.
I think that's a good spot to end it.
That's usually where I get started. We got to get movie recommendations.
We do.
We do. We always end on that.
Yeah.
Cool, and we get to have 3 movie recommendations
Yeah.
this podcast. 3 of you guys. Let's start with Crust, who's remained silent in the
I
middle of
know.
all this. Yeah.
He's hiding in
Can't
the
help
Why
middle.
would you sit in the middle?
Or everything dark.
Yeah.
Hiding.
Buster
shadow.
Bluth over here.
Who's Buster Blue? Oh, that doesn't make it better, doesn't it?
Anyway, Crust, let's get a
I remember Blue. Leave me alone.
just watch Arrested Development. You know.
Okay.
I think these episodes are a lot better when we drink.
Oh, they are. We had
We
sorry.
did 2 sober episodes and we apologize.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you just called him Buster.
When I
Ju-
find
just
out,
on
I'm
just on the quiet part. You know.
Yeah. I'll find out later. Oh no.
Children not seen or heard.
Yeah. Just stay away from Seal. That's all, you know.
Seal?
Yeah, just stay away from seals, dude. That's all you gotta worry about.
I got you.
All right,
But movie
Movies.
recommendations?
Yeah.
Just movies that I like in general?
Yeah.
Or one. We have to pick one.
I'd like to hear something that you really like that you feel has flown under the radar.
It's one of my childhood movies.
Oh, let's hear it.
Okay, it's really
Land Before
random.
Time
That's
3.
what I was thinking.
No.
I was totally thinking Land Before Time.
No, I mean it just popped in my head. Just don't judge me, but Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, dude.
Is that Dick Van Dyke?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, one of those old live-action Disney movies.
Yeah.
I don't know why you just And that's I never got like big into like movies either. Like there's probably a ton of movies that you can probably tell me. I mean it's just like music too, which is the ironic thing. Like I'm one of those people. Like you'll tell me a bunch of bands, and I'll be like, never heard of it, or or stuff like that.
There's
Which
so much stuff out
you know,
there. You know. It's-
that's the
Yeah.
realizing that, and it goes with movies too and filmmaking. There's just a lot of things a lot of people hear, and
Cool. I've also got a new question.
yeah.
How about a podcast? Do you listen to podcasts that you could recommend?
Oh God, no! If you saw me in the beginning of this, no, I'm pretty much new to podcasts. That's why, I mean, like right now, like I was pretty nervous in the beginning. And
It's like
still
this
kind of am now.
podcast.
Oh,
This is
Cuyahoga
the one.
Sound
Yeah.
Podcast. I heard that one's
Yeah,
pretty
this is
good.
the one. This is the one.
The Always Sunny podcast has got me lately, man.
Yeah.
You listen to Smartless?
Yeah,
Oh, it's like one of my favorite podcasts.
I just
out
just
right now.
recommended that
Yeah,
to him
we just-
today.
yeah.
It's so good, dude. Yeah. I can just listen to Will Arnett tell stupid stories all day, and it's just hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like I checked if you were listening to the Always Sunny one. And you're like, yeah, check this one out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's good.
They
It's
just
very
rip
funny.
on each other the whole time.
That's fantastic.
Sandra Bullock episode, man. That chick's got a
Whoa.
mouth on her, dude.
That's crazy. I just started listening to that,
Oh.
but I only made it to the. I
Okay,
had to
yeah,
stop
she's-
it the first 5 minutes. I'll do this
She's
one
got
tomorrow.
Mouth on her, man. Holy crap. I was not expecting that, dude, at all. That was a good episode.
Let's get a movie recommendation from Nico.
Oh, God. That's like one of those weird. I mean, I'm 33 years. I watched like 500 movies a year, man. I don't know. I watch so many. That's such like
All
one of
right,
my
some
favorite
recent-
movies,
a
or like a
recent
newer good
one.
movie.
I ask you, give us a movie recommendation and what pops into your head.
See, like for some reason, The Matrix immediately popped in my head, but that's just like the worst recommendation ever. Because
That
it's like,
is the worst
it's,
recommendation.
it's the worst
ever.
recommendation ever. I
You
don't
know what you
why-
should check on.
Have you ever heard of this?
Speaking of The Matrix, the new one is fucking trash. Don't even waste your time.
Oh,
It's
really?
It's so bad.
That sucks. I haven't heard it. I've heard that, but I haven't watched it, and I
It's-
really
I think
want
I've
it.
heard that twice here.
I really
It's-
want it to be
is
good.
Unwatchably bad. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. I only
Is
stuck
the
it out.
trailer better than the movie?
Because, yeah, and that's not saying much.
Okay.
Yeah. No. A movie recommendation. The Serbian film. It's a really good movie. No, just kidding. Please don't watch the Serbian film. I don't know, man. I don't know, honestly. Whiplash. I don't know if you've ever seen Whiplash. That's
Whiplash.
No.
yeah, really, really awesome movie about like a tortured jazz drummer. J.K. Simmons is his teacher, and he's just a fucking piece of shit. But it's a good movie.
All
Yeah.
right. Cool. All right,
Are
Jay,
you
you had
rushing or
some time to
dragging?
think about one.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I don't know. I probably am not one to be able to name some like thing no one's ever heard of, but I've been diving into a lot of semi-older movies like There Will Be Blood and stuff like that. That's just like, again, you know, things where like the soundtrack and the score and the whole like emotion behind the movie is kind of pushing it rather than a lot of other film tricks and approaches and yeah, just movies like that, you know, that kind of just maybe aren't exactly what you're expecting to sit down and watch.
I see that
for
in a lot of Tarantino.
Tarantino.
Yeah, with the music pushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just, you know, being there for the experience, you know, more than anything, even if that 10 minutes that you just watched wasn't exactly what you were like, oh, I really enjoyed that. Like, no, that was just kind of weird, but it's cool. It's part of it.
Everyone's got a different perspective on movies.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that kind of thing. I like the immersive, like, you know, a little bit artsy, a little bit, you know, a little bit musical, a little bit, you know, some comedy, but in that dry way where it's like, you know, I'm finished. It's hilarious.
I actually have a movie recommendation.
Oh,
The-
you've
the-
had your shit.
You chose The Matrix already.
No, if you've never seen The Raid.
Okay.
The Raid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Phenomenal Korean film. It's really, really sick. Yeah.
All right, great. Cool. Well, Nico, Crust, Jay Sparrow, we had a lot of good times here
Yeah,
today.
that's
I was
fun.
glad to have you in
Good
here.
time.
Cool. This is Sparrow and the Lost Boys. Check out their new single, Dancing Song. All right.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. You're
Yeah.
welcome. For the Cuyahoga Sound Podcast, I'm Evan Stone.
I'm Chuck Schilling.
Peace.